From Koreatown, Los Angeles, thank you for tuning in to Ktown Social Club. This is where the world gathers to talk about the issues that you really care about. It's a different kind of a talk program. We're the only show that offers perspectives from the far left to the far right. Leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification bell. Don't forget to check the description box below to follow all our social media. And who am I? I'm Michael Kim, and I'm joined today by Edward Choi and Douglas Lee Kim. Thank you all for tuning in. Thanks for joining us. Here we are together again on Ktown Social Club. And today we're going to get into some more issues.
I think
I care about?
Yeah, that you care about.
I think you should keep like some sort of error, even if you get it down perfect at one point in the future. You should like slip in a mistake on purpose. Maybe you're doing that right now.
I should always have a mistake, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to keep, because it's signature now.
No, within another year it'll be perfect. Okay. Or by episode 100 it should be perfect. Okay.
All right. That's
Patent pending.
Yeah.
15 weeks from now.
Oh, shit, is it? Okay.
Something like that.
Anyway, so today we're going to discuss a bunch of issues, including about Israel and this angry Asian who's, there was this activist about 20 years ago, angry Asian man. I think his name's Phil Yu.
Yeah.
Yes.
He had a pretty popular blog 25 years ago where he was like an angry Asian guy complaining about racism and all this. But over the last few decades, I think he's gotten older and more mature, I guess, wiser, not as angry. He's pretty chill now. But there's this new angry Asian. He doesn't call himself Angry Asian Man, probably because he's not a man yet. But we're going to get into that later. I think he called himself a cuck, right? But we'll get into that later. Anyway. First on the docket, as Doug likes to say, what's on the docket?
What? Is that not a word?
No.
That people use?
No, people use it all the time.
Yeah.
Like mashies.
Docket.
Docket, yeah.
I didn't create
Judges use
mashies.
that.
I don't know why you keep harping about that.
Okay, so when we were in Hawaii, we went to a steakhouse, and we were deciding which sides to get. And then I was like, okay, we can get mashed potatoes. And then Doug, I never heard this before, and Doug was like, are we getting mashies? I'm like, oh, that's what I guess East Coasters call mashed potatoes.
Not really. I just heard it once from my friend who's from Tampa. And
Oh, okay.
Probably got it from somewhere else.
His child.
Now I find myself
so.
constantly
My
saying
father.
mashies now, and I'm like, okay, it affects me now too. So
Mash them, cook them, boil them, stick them in a stew.
mashies. Anyway, we're gonna get into an Asian thing which happened recently. It sort of died down a bit, I think, but maybe there's some updates. So Simu Liu, the actor, the Asian American actor, who played a
Asian Canadian actor.
He played
Yeah,
a Korean
he is
guy.
He's a
Asian
Canadian,
Canadian.
actor. He's not American.
Well, Canada is part of North America, is it not?
I guess so, but
Yeah. So
people
he is
vote.
Asian American, isn't he? It's not like just the USA can claim America for itself, right? Freaking
In
American.
In this
Kind of.
terminology, that's not what it means, but yes.
Okay, so I'm right.
No.
Well, Canada's
No? Okay,
just an extension of
whatever.
the British Empire, but sure.
Well, the U.S. tried to invade Canada in 1812, right? And they failed.
I think it was the other way around.
Is that why they
Britain
speak French there?
was the one that tried to invade.
I thought it was the U.S. trying to invade Canada back then. And then we failed, and then that was the last failure until the U.S. went up against
No,
the
I think
Koreans and Chinese in
I thought
1950.
I thought the British were definitely the aggressors in that one.
Oh, well, you know more than I do about this stuff, so maybe, I'll defer to Doug's knowledge here. Anyway, so what happened? Like, Simu Liu was on a Boba, or he was on like Shark Tank kind of
It's
program?
like Dragon Tank or something.
It's called Dragon's Den. It actually precedes Shark Tank.
Yeah.
It was first.
Wow, okay. And then what's the difference? Like, they don't have famous
Instead of
people on
sharks or dragons, instead of famous people, you have Canadians.
there? Oh, it's a Canadian show.
Jeez. Yeah, it's on CBC, which is like the Canadian
Canada broadcast.
I think it's like their largest station.
Wait, what's the show called again?
Dragon's Den.
Dragon's Den.
There used to be a comic book store in my area called Dragon's Den.
There was one in my area called Comic Con.
That's
It was literally just
weird.
called Comic Con. And then there was a baseball, there's a card shop a few blocks away called Baseball Card Company. Literally. Baseball Card Company on the other block, Comic Con.
Yeah, it's like when you have number one pho. Oh, Which, have you heard about that?
Yeah, there was a British couple that trademarked, patented the word pho in Great Britain, and then they were suing Vietnamese pho restaurant owners for using the name pho in their restaurant because these white motherfuckers thought that they could claim the word pho.
From the UK. Like, have some goddamn self-awareness, you fucking colonizer.
They're from the UK. I don't think, yeah.
It would have been worse if they were from France, but yeah.
Yeah. So Simu Liu was on there, and I guess one of the, people go on there to try to get investment money.
Yep. It's exactly like Shark Tank.
Yeah,
You go to
it's the
try to
same
get
premise.
investments. Yep.
So it seemed like there was a white couple maybe who went up there and they had a boba product. Boba's those, those?
Wait,
Tapioca
weren't they
pearls.
like Israeli?
No, they were French.
That would be funny if they were.
They were French.
So I guess a French couple was on there. They wanted to do some kind of boba business, and they were looking for investment funds. And then Simu Liu was on there with, I guess, the other investors were white or...
Yeah, so there's like permanent ones, and I think Simu Liu was the guest dragon, if you will. I think there's two are white. There is one. She is South Asian, I believe, potentially Indian. Her name's Manjeet Minas. But yeah, so these two, I'm not sure if they were French or French Canadian, but they went there to try to get investment. They tried to get $1 million investment for like 17% of their company or something. And this company's it's technically called Boba because it's spelled Bobba. So it's like Bobby, but with an A at the end. So it's really Baba, but they're like, oh, we have some Boba. And we're like, no, in English, it's Baba. But they make a ready-made drink. It's in a can. It's basically boba. It's milk tea, bubble tea in a can. And their whole which is fine. A lot of people get it confused. They're like, oh, apparently like you can't do anything that's no, it's fine if you can. The reason that this is wrong is that their whole premise was that like Asian boba, we don't know what's in that. Who knows what they put in it? They're like, our stuff is like really natural, which is crazy because like every boba shop I've ever been to is like milk, coffee, boba. I'm like, I know exactly what's in it. Milk, coffee, and boba. Like, what are you talking about? So they're like, they're making this,
So these white people were trying to say, we have this Asian thing, but a clean version or something.
No, in fact, they went on to say that they're like, yeah, boba's not even an ethnic drink anymore. And then they go on to claim that they invented popping boba, which has been around in Taiwan for like close to a decade. Popping boba is like those like ones that have like the juice or the jelly juice inside of it that you like bite into and it like bursts with like flavor in your mouth. Yeah, they've been around in Taiwan for like close to a decade, and they're like, we invented popping boba. And people were like, no. In fact, Simu Liu sat there and he's like, all of this feels very wrong to me. And he was advising the other dragons, one of whom was a South Asian woman named Manjeet Minas, who her company is like the 15th largest microbrewery in the United States because they white label to like Costco and like Trader Joe's and shit. So she makes a shit ton of money. But either way, Simu Liu is sitting here talking to another Asian person who wants to invest in Boba, having to be like, no, you shouldn't do this. And she's like, no, I feel like it's fine. Cultures are like meant to be shared, is what she's saying.
Indian.
After that one airs, I think it was like the season premiere. After it airs, there was a huge backlash because essentially it's not just that these white people are trying to make an Asian drink, which is, again, fine. It's the fact that it's like literally colonization. They're like, no, this isn't Asian. This is ours now. Kind of like what America did
like
to Taco Bell.
That comic where he's like, that stick figure is getting a ball. It's like, I made this, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, yeah.
That's exactly what that's like. So there was a huge outrage over it.
Not only that, I heard that the Boba has chemicals in it. Like
of course
red
it does.
Something, whatever. So
it's
like
it's a shelf-stable drink that's made for the masses. Of course it has chemicals in it.
So in theory, it's actually dirtier than regular
Getting
boba.
a freshly made to-order boba drink at your local boba store, So it's not only that, they have actually another line of drinks, the same owners, that also are like a slightly different version of boba, but it's basically the same thing. So they're technically colonizing two different drinks. Huge backlash. So much so that Manjeet Minas puts out a statement, the worst video that I've ever seen. where she tries to do it in one take, but she shouldn't have. But basically, she's like, I've been listening to everyone. It's like, what do you mean? No one after the show aired said anything different than Simu Liu said to your face during the show. And she's like, oh, I listened and now I'm like, I'm going to pull out. But it's like, no, you're pulling out because you got backlash.
Yeah.
And even then, it's like, I made a video about it because I was like, I hope you didn't pay a PR company, because this is like the worst statement that I've ever seen, because she Darvo's herself there too.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you know, you shouldn't like threaten anyone's lives. It's like, that's such like a weird thing to say. But to me personally, all of this was really funny when this backlash came out, because almost exactly a year, almost to the day ago, in October 2023, I made a video about this company out of Portland.
Oh yeah, I think I saw
that decided to name themselves literally Better Boba. Because their whole idea was almost the same premise, except instead of making a ready-made drink, they make the actual tapioca pearls. Like, that's their boba product. They were like, we don't know what Taiwanese people put in their bobas. Ours is better. It's natural. It's literally called Better Boba. And like, so like that video, for some reason, I think when I aired it, it must have been like shadow banned or something, because it only got like 25,000 views. And even though it was enough for them to put out a statement the next day where they were like, we're learning and we're going to know how to like start, you know, looking into our like verbiage and like start looking into how we can like give more props to like the origins of boba, which was funny because like for a year I didn't think about it until this Boba thing happened. And then I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take a pulse check on what Better Boba's doing. So I went through all of their social media, their website. In the year since they made that pledge to understand how to give props
they didn't do jack shit.
They didn't do anything. Yeah. In fact, the only thing they did was, so it's a white woman-owned company with her husband. Her husband is South Asian. So initially, a year ago, the websites and everything used to say women-owned and minority-owned company, because she's the face. She runs the company. Her, you know, husband is just like, you know, we're married, so this is our company kind of a thing. A year later, I noticed that on their website, now it says AAPI and woman-owned company. So the only changing to their verbiage that they did wasn't anything that was restorative justice. It was propaganda. We're just going to gaslight everyone into questioning whether or not AAPI is South Asian, or it might be East Asian. It might even be Taiwanese. You don't know. You know what I mean? So they did that. Luckily, this video got more than 20,000 views. And I'm pretty sure they're now in panic mode. Better Boba.
So this Manjit, she made a statement, but what was her statement like?
She put it on Instagram. It was really bad. She basically... So she...
Oh, looks like we have it here.
The whole statement, before you play it, she tries to do it in one take, which it shouldn't have been.
I recognize her. I don't know if I've seen her on the timeline or something.
Yeah, I made a video where I stitched the video, so you might have seen that. Yeah, but she is so robotic the whole video, except for the part that the only part that feels natural is where she relates it to South Asian colonization. And she goes, it's not chai, it's cha. She's like, it's not chai tea, it's just cha or chai. She's like, it's not naan bread, it's naan. So this woman, because she's South Asian, she understands the concept of cultural appropriation.
Right. Yeah.
But she pretended like she didn't understand it when...
Maybe we should just make a drink called Better Mango Lassi for her to understand.
Right. But that's what I'm saying is that like she knew. But that's the thing is like what's very obvious about her statement, which is crazy that she didn't delete it, is because... it loudly states, I know what was wrong, but I don't care because I care more about money.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she's a capitalist.
No, but like to blatantly and explicitly say that, that's wild to me.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's hear what she had to say. We got her Instagram right here.
I really thought she was going to do it.
It's giving ChatGPT.
It is. Just wait.
Here. Last week's episode had a pitch from entrepreneurs about boba tea that has sparked a big conversation.
You can see she's
After
reading.
more reflection, due diligence, and listening to many of your opinions, I will not be investing in boba tea. Having said that, I had to turn off commenting on my platforms because it is never okay to send hate and death threats to the entrepreneurs.
Victim.
I believe wholeheartedly our cultures are meant to be shared, including food, drink, clothing, dance, languages, and weddings. Those of us like Simu and I who have platforms to do so always try to use these platforms to educate and enjoy and explore all cultures. It is cha or chai, depending on where you're from, not chai tea.
This is the only part where she doesn't need to read.
Non-bread. Sharing cultures increases understandings and brings peace on Earth, something our planet could use. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving.
Oh, this is the
Together we are better, and I am thankful for that.
Then she ends a cultural appropriation video with Happy Thanksgiving, which specifically in Canadian Thanksgiving, it's not about this like meeting of two different like, you know, cultures like they try to sell to us.
Yeah.
In Canada, Thanksgiving is specifically when this one British like explorer landed in the land of Canada safely, and that's what they're celebrating, that this white guy safely landed in this like indigenous land, which then began the whole genocide against their...
I think Canadians or Canada's record with Native Americans is actually like...
almost worse.
Might be worse than America's.
Very comparable.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And so to bring that
up. So then to bring that up on that video, like the
like
tone
psycho.
deafness is like so insane. Like she just doesn't care.
Yeah.
She just doesn't care.
Yeah, so here we got a comment from, seems like a Japanese woman, Itakura. While sharing culture can be a beautiful thing, Boba wasn't sharing East Asian or Taiwanese culture. Instead, they appropriated the idea of boba drinks, rebranding it as something improved without giving any acknowledgement to its cultural origins. For you to not acknowledge the root issue in your apology makes it seem disingenuous.
Also, you don't know that's how she would read it. She might be very loud and aggressive. You don't know.
While shedding okay. I'm just kidding. I'm not, you know. The least sincere apology. I'm just glad you're getting backlash for this. F your apology. The Danesh guy, isn't that someone you know?
Danesh. She that video also got ratioed. I don't know if you checked it. Her likes to comments ratio is way off.
Oh, so you got 1,368 likes and a lot more comments,
How do you see the comments?
I guess if I go to here, maybe I can.
Maybe, yeah, you should be.
On the third.
Right there, yep.
Oh,
Yeah,
3,000 comments.
3 times the amount of comments. That's
Especially
called getting ratioed.
For Instagram, that's impressive because I don't see that
Because you
very
rarely
often.
see people getting ratioed on Instagram. Yeah.
Because like on Twitter,
usually
everyone's commenting.
Oh,
because
it's
a
usually a
commenting
TikTok thing too. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. So, and then let's read Doug's take. Should we? Now or later?
That's fine.
October 16th. All the hoopla over this retarded Boba and Simu Liu controversy just shows how retarded the Asian American community still is when it comes to what makes them angry enough to speak out. Well, their most visible leader is saying jack shit about children being murdered for a year. I'm trying to say it like you.
I mean, very fair, but it is still white supremacy in its infancy stages.
I mean, it is, but it's just kind of like...
This is how the idea builds into death.
Is this what like gets us riled enough to like make death threats against random French whatever?
Gen Zs for some reason like fucking love their boba. Look at subtle Asian traits. That's like all that fucking group is about.
I
is
fucking
boba.
hate that group. That group is like imperialist, like colonized.
I don't like boba.
I actually don't like boba. I've never had boba in my life.
Oh, that's different.
How can you say you don't like it?
Because I just know. I've had the tea. I've had the tea.
Yeah.
I haven't
One,
had
it's too sweet of a thing for me, but I don't like the boba.
Did you know that boba actually means like it's slang for boobs? That's what they named it after.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I mean,
It's hilarious.
I guess it makes
In Taiwan?
Yeah. Look it up.
But yeah, I don't want a million Asian people to come after me, but I don't love boba. Sorry.
See, boba is named after breasts because the word... Wait, go up. Oh.
Large-breasted woman.
So...
and I guess milk tea.
We get it, Douglas. But yeah. People have been trying to colonize boba for at least a year now that we know of.
Boba is very...
Well, it's also like a recent product too. So is it really part of like a cultural heritage?
Yes.
How recent are you thinking?
1980s. This is Boba's been
okay.
1980s.
Older than me, technically.
I thought when you meant recent, I thought you meant in the last 10 years or something. Okay.
No.
Because the first boba shop opened in Ktown, I think.
But I guess like what
2001?
is
2000?
there a time limit to like that sort of thing?
Yeah, I don't know. But yeah,
But yes, it is because tapioca, all of it is rooted in Asian culture.
Yeah. I think, yeah. I mean, the main issue obviously wasn't that they were doing boba. It was just that they were trying to say that they were doing
Hey guys, we're selling boba. Perfectly fine. Hey guys, we're selling boba because Asian people make fucked up boba. Wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I didn't really keep track of this because to me it's, like in the last episode, Nathan doesn't really care about WMAF or whatever. To me, like I didn't really care about this. I'm like, whatever, it's boba. But the thing is, I saw Simu Liu made a post maybe yesterday or today saying, hey, can you guys stop bullying them?
Oh yeah, it was like a week ago. But yeah, he made a post. He was like, stop bullying them. But fuck them.
Yeah. Speaking of which, did you see on Shark Tank some Asian sneaker brand apparently was on there? I didn't see it though.
No, I don't watch Shark Tank.
Okay. All right. Is that it?
I don't watch Shark Tank.
Is that all we have for?
I don't get it.
Is that all we have for this one?
What's he referring to?
But fuck, I forgot what I was going to say about boba though.
It's delicious, kind of. Sometimes.
You know what it is? It's just like the Asian American community. They're angry about all these things, right? Because actual violence is being visited upon them, but they can't really talk about it. So all their anger is boiling up, and then they just fucking go crazy about ape shit about this boba controversy.
I think a lot of times also for things like boba too, though, is that like oftentimes people drink boba, so they like feel a little bit more, maybe like
possessive,
akin to talk about it, or like feel more valid to talk about it. Whereas, like you said, maybe they like don't fully understand, so they don't like feel comfortable talking about it, even though they know they don't agree with it. Oh, I do remember what I was going to say. This whole boba controversy is very akin to the whole MSG thing.
Oh, yeah.
It's very similar. Specifically for Better Boba, the company, they literally had listed on their website that people were suffering from abdominal pain and cramps from eating Asian people's boba because we don't know what's in it. So it's kind of like, it kind of is not as big of a deal, but it is, because it's like, again, the idea of hatred, othering people, like, Asian
that's
people
also
are
a
weird.
different like level of grossness in the French couple, because now she's trying to use her Indian husband or whatever as a fucking shield for her fucking racism.
Yeah. But either way, all of it is definitely not.
Like, yes, is it racist? Yes, obviously. Is it worth considering or worth getting riled up about when fucking World War III is around the corner?
No, I don't think it's like World War III necessary, but I feel like it's necessary that like we try to nip this in the bud before it gets out of hand.
I'm sorry, did the Boba lady have an Indian husband?
No, the Better
the other
Boba.
one.
Oh, the Better Boba. Yeah. Okay. All right. So, and
But also French Canadians are notorious for being racist.
Yeah, but
The French.
what Ed was saying about how, the subtle Asian traits, that's all they care about boba. I think the guy who coined the term boba liberal, diaspora is red. That was his Twitter name. He's just gone now, but I think he was referring to things like subtle Asian traits and how, they can get very passionate about things like boba, but that's where it, because it's safe. It's just a food that everyone loves. But when it gets to more...
I mean, as subtle Asian traits doesn't even approve posts that like hype up Asian companies and brands. Like they literally don't give a fuck.
Yeah, my experience with subtle Asian traits in the early... So I'm not involved with them really, right? Because I noticed
It's just a bunch of clout-chasing scumbag Australians.
It seemed like a bunch of...
They were like high schoolers.
Yeah, right. And they were very like they wanted to be white or
100%.
something.
They're fucking like... Australia is the most white-worshipping out of the Five Eyes countries.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, for sure.
I have noticed a lot of
They are
naysayers
so
from
fucking
Australian Asians.
Like, it's insane how like cucked they are there.
Wow.
Which is sad because they're like right next to Asia.
Yeah, that sucks for that sucks that that happens. But yeah, so subtle Asian traits is really not so Asian as it is. It's like boba liberal.
Yeah, the only
It's
thing they're
Boba Liberal
Bobas.
the
Yeah.
Boba Liberal
only
Central.
the only thing they're subtle about is their hatred for themselves.
That's a good one.
Subtle Asian self-hatred.
Not so subtle.
Wait, Blatant self-hatred. That's what it's.
That's
and then
not
SAT,
really a catchy
right?
title for a group, though.
Yeah, but they all must be like nearly 30 by now, right? Because it was in that
they're
group,
in, like,
10 years
No,
old.
they're like in their mid-20s. Because it started like right
2019,
around
2018.
pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
No, it was before that, right?
No, it was like 2 years before.
Ish.
So they're like 25 right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see. Let's see when it really started. It started in 2018, 6 years ago.
Yeah, I told
Wow.
you, 2 years before the pandemic.
It's only been 6 years? Why does it feel like 10 years ago?
Well, there
So,
was
yeah,
a
they're
pandemic
like-
that feels like 10 years ago.
So the oldest of them are like 24 now.
24, 25, yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, they're still little kids.
But old enough that they should have learned better at this point. But that group has not evolved.
Well, maybe they got...
Literally, the only two things Subtle Asian Traits cares about is Simu Liu and Boba. And somehow, those two things intertwine in this controversy.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Some members have criticized the underrepresentation of non-East Asian perspectives in Subtle Asian Traits. Really?
Mm-hmm.
Non-East Asian perspectives?
They don't post anything that's not East Asian or Boba. So there's no, like, South
that
Asian.
part-
I don't know if they even post Asian perspectives or just a white perspective on
No, they
Asian
don't.
issues.
The only thing that SAT really approves content-wise is Boba, Simu Liu, and then, like...
Self-hating memes.
Yes, or, like, mostly, like, cosplay stuff.
Oh.
Like, every time Halloween comes by, there'll be, like, a gajillion fucking posts all of a sudden. But that's all they care. That's all they allow. I've tried so many times to post about Asian issues, racism, even just being like, hey, look at this Asian company. We should support them. None of those get
Yeah,
approved.
that's a fucking scum organization.
Yeah.
They're just cloud chasers.
They are
Whatever.
cloud chasers.
It's not that. It's not that.
And, but it sucks because, like, you hear of a lot of Gen Z kids who nowadays are, like, so socially aware. It just so happens none of them are in SAT.
Because they live in Australia.
I kind of agree with that.
All right, well, that's about it for that.
Experienced Asians from all over the Five Eyes network, and I have determined that they are the most cucked.
Some of the
By
ones
far.
that say the most, like, anti-Asian, non-supportive stuff for victims and victim blaming, every time I check on their profile, I'm like, oh, you're an
The
Asian
fucking
from
Australian,
Australia.
yeah?
I'm like, God damn it.
It's not a big deal, mate. Crikey.
Yeah, they're like, that's not racism. I'm like,
That's not
yes, it
racism.
is.
It's not racism. Are we all doing the Aussie
Oh,
thing?
no.
No.
Oh, no.
It's not racism.
It's not racism.
Crikey.
Fucking Australia.
Go to China, and anyway.
It's like the backward. It's the penal colony of the whites.
mean-
I call them the penal Anglos.
Weren't they the British
Yes.
criminal
They were
class?
the worst of the worst.
They were the worst of the worst.
So Australians are basically the criminals, the British criminals,
And
English
that's how it was
criminals.
founded, yes. They were like, hey, there's a bunch of savages in this area, so let's send our savages there to colonize
out- yeah,
them
clear it
and,
out.
you know, ethnic cleansing them. So.
Kind of like you ever watch? I mean, you played StarCraft. You know how the Terran Federation is made up of all criminals. That
I
they
am
sent.
having deja vu.
Oh, you mean
What's our next topic? Israel. Definitely deja vu.
Israel's
the
deserved,
Terran
right?
Confederacy. It's all criminals.
Get a new analogy.
Never StarCraft.
Have you ever
is
played
like-
StarCraft 2? Have you ever played Warcraft?
I actually don't really like Warcraft that much.
The
For
original?
ire.
I only played
for
Warcraft
ire.
3.
I don't love World of Warcraft.
I played Warcraft 3. I didn't play.
I loved
2.
Warcraft. Warcraft gave birth to StarCraft.
Well, Warcraft 2 was before StarCraft, right?
I'm sorry, Command and Conquer, Red Alert. Wasn't that even before? So
Yeah, you're
anyway,
really old school.
we're only like 2-3 years apart, so it's not like.
In video game parlance, that's like an eternity.
Anyway,
Fair.
next to our next topic. How many of you guys know Nas Daily? Here's Nas
4.4
Daily.
million people, apparently.
He's got 4.4 million followers on Instagram.
Apparently 68 million collectively.
Oh yeah.
How six? Wait, where? Oh,
Because I know he's also on a. I first saw this guy on a.
that's so stupid. Like what? Combining all their accounts followers when like there's massive overlap, probably.
When you do though, that is how they do it.
It's so stupid.
Like on the
though.
news and
It's
stuff,
like,
they'll be like, collectively, he has 3 million followers.
like 80% of them are just like followers from different fucking.
You don't know.
I mean, you
I'm
do.
pretty sure my Instagram and TikTok are totally different followers. I don't
Maybe.
ever see any comments that suggest they're the same. I'm not saying there aren't overlap.
Wait, if you see on Facebook, Nas Daily has.
I'm an overlap. I follow you, on
are an
both.
overlap.
Nas has.
Do you watch on both? So it doesn't count. See?
I'm not sure.
See?
Actually, I don't go on TikTok though. That's
Actually,
why.
that's fair. That still does count as followers.
Anyway, Nas has 22 million on Facebook,
Damn, that's crazy.
4 million on Instagram. Let's see, TikTok, how many he's got?
Say
What
What
three.
is he? He's just like a travel vlogger.
He's got 8 million
18.
on TikTok. I mean, he does travel, but he tries to do this like positive stuff, but then
But not like Darman.
like let's check it out. I think he makes like short videos.
I call
like,
that toxic.
Wait, but not like
positivity.
Darman. There's like fake videos where it's like acted out and they're like, oh no, you touched
I
my
don't
child.
I don't think so. I don't think he does. I've only seen a few, but here's an example. I think, let's see, the city of matcha. Matcha is my favorite thing in the world, and I was really excited to visit the headquarters of matcha here in Japan. So I guess it was during this trip when he got canceled. But
Oh
anyway,
my God, look at that second comment.
I love matcha so much, but not as much as I enjoyed those brave people confront you in Japan. Okay, cool.
I don't even know what happened yet, and that comment's hilarious.
All right, so
It's the most liked one because it's on top. I think.
let's just see what kind of content he makes first.
This, the city of matcha. I came to Japan to launch Nas.
It was actually at this event here where he actually gets. Anyway, we'll play that later.
Aisle in this country, and today I landed in Uji. This is the mecca for matcha lovers because everything here is made with matcha. The ice cream, the
Look at his
noodles,
eyes.
the hot drinks, the cold drinks,
wrong with
the
his eyes?
sweets, the candies. Holy cow! Even the beer is made with matcha.
That house doesn't look like it's made in
was
matcha.
first discovered in China, but here in Uji, Japan, they make the highest quality matcha in the world. Check this out. Every store here has something that has matcha. Matcha, 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 matcha.
Okay, we
matcha.
get it.
They grow
Matcha.
All right, so
Oh my God, even the trees and grass is made out of matcha?
Even the air, the water.
You think this is a human? Nope. Matcha.
yeah, so he does this. He's been in like controversy. He's had like what the F?
What kind of controversies does a fucking vapid ass fucking travel blogger get
Yeah,
himself
this gives
into?
me like mid 2000s.
yeah,
Like
beginning of the internet travel blog.
yeah.
Well, so here's the thing: is Nas Daily? He's actually a Palestinian, but he's a Israeli Palestinian.
What does that even mean?
So he was born to a Palestinian family. So he
In
he
Israel.
is a Palestinian Arab, but he has Israeli citizenship.
So he's more loyal to land than people?
Well, he considered himself Palestinian Israeli, and then in October 2023, I guess after October 7th, he says, "I view myself as an Israeli Palestinian. Israeli first, Palestinian
No,
second."
what an idiot. What an idiot. By
So-
saying that, he literally is confirming that Palestine exists. Am I correct? Because if you're Israeli Palestinian, that means you're Israeli by blood and you live in Palestine. So by doing so, the idiot unknowingly is confirming that Palestine exists.
Which is anti-Israeli.
Right, which is anti-Zionist, which
Yeah.
is crazy. What a dumbass.
And then he makes videos about what is this? And look how he shakes and he goes,
he's
"A
just-
message to all peacemakers." He's not a
I mean,
peacemaker.
I talk with my hands a lot too.
Um,
Wait, so what happened?
Yeah.
So he goes, "I am excited to announce that I had my first Free Palestine protest come to a Nas Daily meetup. I told them I agreed with them. I also want a Free Palestine from Hamas, Free Palestine
fuck are
from
you
terrorism,
talking about?
Free Palestine from radical religion. They disagreed. They just wanted a Free Palestine from Jews. Oh, well." And
That is a fucking capo.
So he went to Japan to go meet with his followers and stuff, and then some of his followers who were Japanese confronted him about his views on Israel. Is that what happened?
There were Japanese and non-Japanese who confronted him. They weren't necessarily his fans, or at least they were aware of him, and they confronted him. And let me play the actual video from the longer video. So
I love how all of his followers are just sitting there. They're like...
they're clueless, right? They have
clueless,
no idea.
yeah.
So Layla Hamed, who is
Most of them are Japanese. They don't know what's happening in that language, probably.
Yeah, so this Layla says, influencer Nas Daily has left Instagram after he couldn't handle how embarrassing he looked like when a group of pro-Palestinian protesters in Tokyo disrupted his meetup.
Wait, what do you mean by left Instagram, though? Because I saw his
Yeah,
Instagram.
I know. Maybe he was gone for a while, but then he came back.
Oh.
Maybe play one of his stories. Maybe there was something about how he was going to
I'm going to guess he's not going to address it at all.
That tweet was on the 15th, and now it's the 21st.
Wait, that's
really? So it's been
India's
almost a
guy.
week.
NDTV World Summit, and the 5 lessons I learned.
So if he did address it, he probably already did.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was going to do more political stuff on Twitter now. But he's trying to... See, I feel like he's getting all this attention and whatever because he is a Zionist. He's been able to grow this big, especially 22 million on Facebook. Did Mark help him out?
Wait, when did he start his stuff, though?
It's been a while. He's been doing it for a while. Let's see.
I mean, if he's...
2011.
Yeah, I mean, if he's been at it since... It's not that out of the ordinary to have that many
Oh,
followers.
but he quit his job at Venmo in 2016 and decided to explore the world. That's when he started making the videos, 2018, I heard.
All right, that's still not
2016, I
that
guess.
crazy that he would...
Oh, after meeting Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg in early 2018, Nas Daily was upgraded to show status. And by September 2018, his page had amassed over 8 million views. So Zuckerberg promoted him.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
technically...
really. I mean, Facebook Watch was not that big of a thing, and it's already dead.
It is, but it definitely would have helped to put a little bit of a spotlight on his show. A little bit.
Wow. So he started, I guess, on Facebook where he released 1 minute long video daily for 1,000 days. So, but anyway, here's the video of, so I never really had a problem with this guy. I would see his content once in a while. I always thought he was kind of annoying, kind of fake.
Basic. He seems a little basic, too.
And he just seemed very fake to me, but fake positive guys.
Toxic positivity.
I guess, I don't know, but it just didn't seem real, and his eyes seemed soulless to me. So, this is not the one. Okay. So she goes, Tokyo stands united for Palestine. Zionists and normalizers are not welcome here via Palestine, Japan. Okay, so let's check out.
That's the full video?
This is one of them. It's about 3 minutes. Let's check out a little bit of it. So,
why'd you turn it down?
Well, so that we can comment on it.
Oh.
Do you really want to support someone who glosses over genocide? Look at him. He's just smiling. He's trying to take away some, attendees are laughing and
look
clapping.
at him so desperately trying to take back the whole thing. He's like, guys, this is great. This is amazing. It's like, no, it's not. You're panicking.
Yeah.
You literally just tried to take her phone from her. You're panicking.
There was another video where he was being called out somewhere at some event. I think it was Davos or something. And he was the other guy was calling him out, and this Nas Daily started following him and harassing him and just smiling like trying to act like he's not bothered, and then trying to hit him or something. Anyway, he smiles a lot, but underneath all that, yeah, I think he's a very
psycho.
Yeah, psycho.
Yeah.
So he's trying to just ignore it. Now the thing is, this guy is Palestinian by blood. And all these people are coming out to support his people, and he's just...
I mean, it's not that different from what DJ Khaled
He says, my country is Israel, and you have to accept it. He's actually saying, my country is Israel.
That's grosser than Khaled, for sure.
I guess that is.
I mean, there were Koreans during the Japanese occupation that said, hey, we're Japanese now. We're not Korean.
Yeah, that's gross.
So he's one of those guys. Look at that white lady. What's going on?
I know it was the last episode, but it's like kind of like little Mike Kang-ish, right?
Oh yeah. I mean, yeah, capos are capos.
So here's this Indian-seeming guy. He says he was a Nas supporter, but I guess he changed his mind. So just read what he says. I want to say that I came here for the event, but after listening to you and after listening to him, right now I'm not on his side. I'm just doing it. Basic of humanity is not to laugh when somebody's dying.
You don't know that he has.
What he's doing is involving other people. He's making a joke out of it.
I don't know that the accent's necessary.
No, I watched the video. That's how he talks.
But even then, I don't know that it's necessary.
All right. So then, okay, we get it.
Anyway? So the police eventually ended up coming, and then he got kicked out. But
Japan?
not necessarily because of the protesters, but what I understand was he didn't have a permit to have this kind of gathering. And then the police are supporting, like, oh, okay, for Palestine, all right.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You're like, Nani?
Like, but you, sir, have to
Palestine
go.
Oh.
So, yeah. Zionist racist, you are the terrorist. Settlers go back home. The end. Okay. And then, what is this? No, we don't need to hear him.
All right, next
so
topic.
Nas Daily. So this is Nas. Was his Instagram story. Nas Daily is moving. I want to keep Instagram free of politics as much as possible. So everything political is moving to X platform under the name Nusayr Yassin. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube will be used mainly for inspiring content. Arigato. P.S. Exceptions apply. Okay.
So none of that was useful.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm sorry. In case that Indian thing offended people, I didn't think people would get bothered by it. But in case,
it just seems
I think it's just
gratuitous.
like safe to just stay away from accents, unless they're regional.
I mean, the way I see it, this show. Well, we did the Australian. Oh, because they're white. Yeah, that's
non-ethnic accents.
So
like if you were start
wait,
talking like a southern drawl, I'd be like, that's fine.
But if
Hell,
I'm trying to imitate him, shouldn't I try to imitate the way he talks?
No.
I mean, but why?
Yeah. It's not.
We do it with Kamala. We do it with Trump.
I don't love those
But
either.
those aren't like
Those aren't ethnic.
accents. It's just like
It's an imitation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Imitation.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry.
Next topic.
Sorry to India and Pakistan and Bangladesh and Sri Lanka, Nepal, Bhutan, maybe.
Let's not further offend them. What's the next topic?
All right. Next topic. Let's get to Israel. Israel. You know, I saw a video of Roger Waters, Pink Floyd.
Don't want this next topic.
Roger Waters of Pink Floyd. I saw him on Instagram yesterday, was it? Recently?
he's a singer or
Yeah.
Yeah, Pink Floyd. He's the one guy who left the group a long time ago. He's been a hardcore, like, anti-war,
yeah.
unlike Bono, I guess.
What did he do? What happened?
He's been calling out Israel since the beginning,
okay,
but
thank God.
yesterday he was just
Like
like,
I didn't want to hate someone.
he just broke down finally. He's just like, what is wrong with these fucking Israelis?
Oh, okay, thank God. Oh my God, thank God. I was like, please tell me Roger Waters did not do something bad because the Roger Waters show that I went to was arguably one of the best shows I have ever seen.
Roger Waters.
And that man was like 80 at the time when he fucking performed.
Is he 80 now?
Dude, I don't know how old he is, but he must be. He's so old.
Dark Side of the Moon came out in
Like
1973.
72 or 3?
I'm going to say 73, so that's a 51-year-old album. Let's say he was 24 when it came out. I'm going to say Roger Waters is 75.
Which is like basically 80. That's basically what it said.
He's 81. Holy shit.
Yeah, fuck, I told you.
He was-
Roger Waters.
He was 30
man.
when it came out.
It's funny because all the Jewish kids in my school would listen to Pink Floyd.
Well, it's just so crazy that if you were like fucking Roger Waters became like pro fucking Zionist, I'd be like, then all of those fucking albums were bullshit.
Oh, I don't know.
All
what
of his albums are about like
what is this?
anti-fascism and anti-war.
Well, my favorite album was Dark Side of the Moon.
I only heard
Taking
about the
away
Alice in
the
Wonderland
moments
thing.
that make up a dull day.
I only know
He
like,
literally has a song called Money that's about capitalism.
Money.
I only know like Comfortably Numb.
Is a crime? Wait, is a...
Get back, I'm all right, Jack. Keep your hands off of my stack. Money, it's
about
a gas.
capitalism.
Don't get... Yeah, but if
Roger
you-
I
Waters.
believe you.
But
I just
either
never-
way, his shows, if he's still touring and you guys get a chance, go check out Roger Waters on tour. Fucking amazing.
When he played, did he play any of the Pink Floyd songs like Money or...
He played all of them.
Oh, really? So he just
played-
has other band guys doing that stuff.
Yeah, I think so. And then there's like this whole visual component where he like builds up a whole wall during the show and then they tear it down. There's these like huge fucking like puppets and stuff. The show is fucking amazing. It was like one of the best monies well spent.
So it goes, we don't need no education.
So
Bum,
good.
ba-dum, bum, bum. Bum, ba-dum, bum, bum. We don't need
Yeah.
no thought control. Dun, 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 dun. No dark sarcasm in the classroom.
Okay, we get it.
Hey,
Hey,
teacher, leave those kids alone. All in all, you're just
God, another brick in the wall. It's actually surprising that you don't love Pink Floyd
why?
because
I mean, I didn't get
it's
to a lot.
basically everything you say in musical form.
Yeah, but 4 years ago, I wasn't a communist.
Well,
Oh, do you also like Rage Against the Machine?
I only like the the song that's in the Matrix.
Oh,
Okay. So yeah, we were gonna get to Israel. Sorry.
dang it! I mean, I'm fine talking about Israel. I just like, oh man.
So
There's a really bad video that I do not want to watch.
King of Israel.
Wrong.
wait, how does that song? I remember that.
Noel.
This is the wrong vibe to set for what we're about to watch.
The King of Israel. Wait,
Jesus.
Jesus Christ,
wait,
Mike.
What do Zionists think about Jesus being the King of Israel?
They don't.
They killed a whole bunch of Christians for it, so I guess not favorably.
So that might be kind of triggering for Christians to say that, hey, Jesus is the King of Israel to Israelis.
Born is the King.
Do you remember? Hark the herald
yeah, of
angels
course.
sing.
This
glory to
is a
the
bad
newborn
vibe to set
King.
before we talk about what's about to talk
okay.
about.
Okay.
I know
This is a
we're-
palate cleanse.
I know we're trying to like not watch it, but
No, let's. They recently took out one of the Hamas leader guy, Yahya Sinwar, and let's check out some tweets involving him. Now, you heard that he was a terrorist, and because of that he's gone. Maybe the war can be over now, or the whatever. So let's find out a little bit more about this guy. He was born in 1962, which means he was born in the year of the tiger.
it's so weird that you know that.
Yeah, so he was 62 this year. He was born in Khan Yunis refugee camp. He was born in occupied Palestine about 14 years after Nakba, right? He was born into these conditions.
It's like being born into the Warsaw Ghetto.
Yeah, and then what else? We have a little bio here, I guess. He was born into a refugee camp because his parents were ran out of their homes by Zionists. He spent 22 years in Israeli prisons where he was brutally tortured. In 2018-19, he helped lead a peaceful protest on the Israeli border. And how did Israel respond? They killed 223, including 46 children, and wounded 10,000. Now, this is years before the events of October the 7th last year, but, the white racists and the Zionists would have you believe everything started on October 7th.
Yeah.
So they deliberately shot young men in the dicks to take their manhood away. This was widely condemned by the international community, but Israel and the United States didn't care. Who are the world's terrorists? Doug? Okay. Anyway,
The CIA.
do you understand why he decided to
MI6,
resist?
Mossad.
Anyway, Jake Shields. He seems to be anti-Semitic for real. Let's also go to this third link. Israel made the mistake of publishing footage of Yahya Sinwar's last moments. Have you guys seen this video?
Yeah.
They sent in a drone.
I don't think that was a video he died in.
No, it's not. But you see what happens. He's like badly injured, and it's like a last act of defiance. So wearing a keffiyeh and severely injured, he threw a stick at the drone, filming him, a final act of defiance against the Zionist occupation. In his death, he became a legend. So let's check it out. Here's the drone going in. And they said he was like hiding like among a bunch of human shields, but he was what? He was
fighting to the end. Like, this is the leader.
There he is. You guys see him sitting here?
Oh.
You can
Like,
see
when
his...
was the last time we even saw like a leader, go into battle with their armies?
Only in the
Right.
movies.
So he's looking at the drone. I think he's bleeding right here.
Like, I think like
Wait, so then what
Napoleon
killed
might
him
be
was
the
a
last
kamikaze
one.
drone?
No, they bombed where he was.
I thought it was a sniper shot to the head,
Oh, was it?
because like they showed his head being like.
I saw a video of...
You might be right. I don't know.
what I read was that the Israelis weren't actually looking for him, but he found them and started like shooting at them or whatever. They ran away, and then they brought a tank or something and hit wherever he was, and then sent in a drone to check. But yeah, maybe because I don't know the details.
That's what I read, but I can't confirm.
And then there's the stick he's about to throw. It misses, but he's like, "What the fuck? What do you want?"
I mean, he obviously doesn't have the energy to stand.
Yeah.
It wasn't a stick. It was a big piece of like wood.
Oh yeah.
So that happened, and then Kamala Harris responded. This is according to this is Carlos. I think his name's Carlos Martinez. I heard him speak about North Korea about 10 years ago. But anyway, Kamala Harris on the murder of Sinwar. Justice has been served. Joe Biden says a good day for Israel, for the United States, and for the world. Keir Starmer, I don't know who that is.
Is that
the UK PM?
PM?
The UK will not mourn his death. Netanyahu, evil has been delivered a blow. So history will remember all these scoundrels as the foolish and despicable servants of imperialism and hegemony. History will remember Sinwar, on the other hand, as someone who gave their life to struggle against colonialism, apartheid, ethnic cleansing, genocide, and white supremacy. How would you prefer to be remembered? And someone said, Sinwar, Braveheart. Like William Wallace.
I said that Mel Gibson should make a Braveheart movie about Sinwar, since he's anti-Semitic. So
that might hurt. Yeah, but whatever. But Jackson Hinkle posted Hamas's official statement on the martyrdom. So it's kind of long, so let's just...
what are the highlights?
The leader of the Islamic resistance ascended, facing and not retreating in the most honorable battles in defense of the Al-Aqsa Mosque. It's a source of pride to present leaders before soldiers, leaders to lead the caravan of martyrs.
This is like a huge morale boost for Hamas. They're not going to quit now.
Yeah, so then he sacrificed the flower of his youth as a prisoner, blah, blah, blah. He supervised the movement's military work. The resistance factions with Hamas at their core, when they decided to enter this, knew that the price of liberation was high and that all peoples had paid it before they were liberated from their occupiers. And our jihad will not stop until Palestine is liberated, the last Zionist is expelled from it, and all our legitimate rights are restored. The criminal enemy is delusional. Criminal enemy is delusional if he thinks that by assassinating the great leaders of the resistance, such as Sinwar, I don't know, Haniyeh, Nasrallah is the Hezbollah leader, Al-Aruri and others, he can extinguish the flame of the resistance or push it into retreat. Rather, it will continue and escalate until the legitimate goals of our people are achieved. Martyrdom is the highest desire of our leaders, and their blood will be a beacon, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so it is jihad of victory or martyrdom. So this was, I guess, on the 15th? Interesting thing about this is the last Zionist is expelled from it. Are they referring to Gaza and the West Bank or all of the land? I don't know. But anyway.
I guess all
At this point, I don't think Israel has a right to exist.
Yeah.
I mean, a terrorist state should not exist.
Yeah.
Okay, so
even in their own fucking, religion, it shouldn't exist.
Yeah, and then in Morocco, North Africa, he is seen as a hero now. So he's being paraded as a hero, even in Morocco and other parts of the Arab and Muslim world, I'm sure. Maybe even Indonesia. Let me see if there's any
Does look very
props to
badass in
him.
that photo.
I don't know, I can't really find much about Indonesia.
Like, when is the last leader, like the white leader, that everyone is happy about? Was it FDR, maybe?
I don't know.
Surprisingly, people didn't hate Clinton that much.
I guess Kennedy, right? Kennedy was the one everyone was like,
He was pretty beloved, yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
People like Jimmy Carter a lot too, no?
I think
afterwards.
Afterwards. He only had one term.
Okay.
Crushed by the oil stuff.
So the U.S. government also recently stated, in light of all this, the U.S. government also recently stated that Israel does have a right to target civilians. So let me play that clip here. It's pretty ridiculous.
Israel has a right to try and
Okay.
near civilians. Israel has a right to try and target those civilians, but they also have the obligation to minimize civilian harm and take every step possible to minimize civilian harm. So that's
No, those two sentences don't go together.
So he just said that
Two sentences don't go together.
Israel has a right to target civilians, but Israel should also be obligated to not target civilians or whatever. But
That
they're
means that they
doing that.
shouldn't
Just
target
fascist
civilians.
doublespeak.
So all he's saying is Israel can kill all the civilians at once. That's what he's really saying. That's the U.S. government policy. Israel can do whatever the fuck it wants. Is this because Israel really wants this, or is it the United States that also wants this? Maybe
both. It's both.
maybe the U.S. really wants Israel to take over all of Palestine.
I mean, the United States as a country is Islamophobic, so.
And let's see the Israel targeting civilians, and let's check it out. Let's see how they do it.
This is what I don't want to watch.
Be warned, this is kind of graphic.
Yeah, big trigger warning. Including me, god damn it.
Why can't I make it bigger? So you see that kid there?
That guy on the bike seems to know what's up.
So the kid is messed up. Others are coming to help him. He's shredded. It's torn to pieces.
Just grab him and run. Just
His
grab
body
him
was
and
cut
run.
up.
Oh, God.
How did they bomb him? Why? So now there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're all gathering. Oh. See, Palestinians are filming their own genocide, and Joe Biden is saying there's no genocide.
Joe Biden is the worst president in American history.
Anyway.
I mean, like, his actions could literally lead us to World War III.
I don't understand how, like, a video like that doesn't make it. I mean, there's so many of these. There's so many of these. But I don't understand how that doesn't make it on every fucking headline. Like, it's... Yeah,
because it's
because
being
we
suppressed.
are...
It's on
It is
purpose.
Zionist media.
It's because it's a brown kid.
Yeah.
That's why.
Really evil shit, man. So, one comment says, this tactic of warfare comes from Lucifer himself. The shoot an injured person is the bait for many people willing to help. Their selfless kindness is used against them in the form of a deadly rocket attack. Israel is shameless and moralist. They're sadists and racist genociders. They pride themselves on being evil and getting away with crimes against humanity. That is a war crime. Israelis have gone batshit crazy. They've been batshit crazy for decades. Reminds me of this scene from Schindler's List. Remember this? Ray Fiennes.
I've never seen this.
He's a Nazi, and he gets up in the morning drunk, smoking a cigarette, takes out a sniper rifle, and he just starts picking off random Jews in the
ghetto.
Yeah, in the
concentration
camp there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he thinks it's funny.
I think he had like a bad day too, or something, right?
Who?
Maybe.
Or something.
His
I just
character?
remember him being angry.
This one is a little more graphic.
Of the
so
same incident.
no,
I
this
didn't
is a
know.
separate incident. I want you all, you viewers who are not that aware about Palestine, to know what Israel is really doing. Because the way the media plays, it's like, oh, Palestinians are terrorists, or Israel has a right to do this and that. They're a democracy. They're our allies and all this. No, they're not. They're fucking horrible. So you might want to skip this part if it's a little too much, but I'm going to show you. And this is one of many hundreds or thousands of, oh, it's gone now.
What was it?
It was, okay. All right. It's really bad. So warning, I'm going to play it now. This is what Israel does every single day, all hours of the day. They keep killing children. They target children. And our leaders, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Donald Trump, they all support this shit. They all support it. That's why you can't vote. I can't vote for them. And to the fucking liberals out there who are so angry about people voting for someone like Stein, saying, well, you know, if Trump wins, it's going to be worse. As if they're okay with what's going on now, but they don't want Donald Trump to come in and make it worse. As if,
Anything
like,
could be
this
worse.
doesn't bother them. Like, what's happening now doesn't bother them. The only thing that bothers them is that Team Red is going to win.
Yeah.
Like, that's horrible. So, as long as Democrats and Republicans keep supporting Israel, this country is going to be on a path, is on the wrong path. So,
Because if you can justify a child dying, I don't know what you're capable of.
yeah. These people, these evil Zionists are capable of anything. They will do anything.
That was like Himmler's rationale for killing children in the concentration camps too. He was like, yeah, we don't want future generations of Jews getting revenge against us, so we have to eliminate them all. Heinrich Himmler literally said those fucking words.
No, I just saw this quote from Gaddafi. I know Gaddafi was heavily anti-Zionist. I think that's one of the reasons he was taken out. And he said in 1986, this is around the time Back to the Future came out and Libyans were portrayed as terrorists. He goes,
This is 4 years after the Palestinian stuff, right? I mean, the
Lebanon,
yeah.
He goes, I think Americans are good, but America will be taken over and destroyed from the inside by the Zionist lobby. The Americans do not see this. They are getting decadent. Zionists will use this to destroy them. And I think he's right. I think Israel is really going to be the downfall, or is really the big thing that's going to cause America to crash and burn harder and faster than it would have otherwise because of Israel. So, last thing on Israel before we end this episode is I want to play a clip from some kid who went to, I think, Charlie Kirk and asked him a question or mentioned something. So, and then we'll do some commentary about this afterwards.
So I got a quick and fun, lighthearted question for you, Charlie. So I know you gave a speech in Jerusalem early this year.
Yes, I did.
Were there any awesome, fun dance parties that you guys had afterwards? 'Cause I heard that Israelis are some of the best dancers in the world. If you guys don't believe me, just Google dancing Israelis. It's insane how good they're dancing. Would you agree or disagree with that?
Israel's a beautiful country, a great country too.
Yes, they're our greatest ally.
Correct. Thanks for being here tonight. Next question.
Okay, so
I was just wearing that to blend in.
I think to throw the scent off, So, in case, Doug, do you know
there are right-wing anti-Zionists too. It's not out of the.
Doug, you know about the
They're
dancing
usually
Israelis, right? So this guy went up wearing a MAGA hat, asking Charlie Kirk, who's the, I guess, founder or co-founder of TPUSA, which is a conservative right-wing, some kind of company, organization. And this guy came up and, basically said, he just said, hey, everyone, Google dancing Israelis. Now, What do you know about dancing Israelis? Like Ed, I don't think Ed's heard about it before. I'm sure Doug knows.
I mean, like, yeah, I didn't know about it until October 7th, and I was researching everything I could on Israel and whatever. But yeah, I came across this story that, it was like, I think it was like an ABC News website or whatever, but the story came from 2001, 2002 or whatever. And it basically said that there was a woman who saw this van. It looked like a flower van, one of those like obvious Fed vans that, that feds are in there, but they try to pass it off as like, something else. She saw like a bunch of Israelis filming the event and dancing. And then in that story...
How did she know they were Israelis, though?
She didn't. She just said, like, there's suspicious people, they're dancing, whatever, what's going on. So the authorities came, they apprehended those men.
They caught them?
Yeah, they caught them, and then there was like a little bit of interrogation that nobody knows what happened exactly, like from the FBI or whatever.
Or got footage of the footage that they were filming?
No one had... Oh, yeah, so we don't have that either.
Yeah,
or nobody...
That's what I'm saying.
Exactly. So then... like after an investigation, they were let go, and then they went to Israel. And
after an investigation that changed this country forever, they just let them go?
Yeah.
Because they're Israeli, right? They were linked to Israeli intelligence as well. Okay, so here's another one. So in 2001...
They were linked to Israeli intelligence? That happened from the investigation?
I think that came out
and
after
part
the fact.
of the reason
The thing
why
is,
they were let go?
I looked at this like 15 years ago, and there was a lot of information, and then I just kind of forgot about it. And then recently, like in the last few years, I looked it up again, and most of the information disappeared. There were all kinds of videos of like these guys on TV in Israel talking about it.
Does the video not exist anymore?
I couldn't find it anymore. Like a lot of the stuff that was out there like 15 years ago is gone.
That's crazy.
Well, the ABC link was still there when I searched it. It might be gone now, but...
Okay, but it says in 2001 on 9/11, 5 Israeli men were arrested for dancing and celebrating as the Twin Towers fell. They were filming and had large amounts of cash, box cutters, and residue of explosives on them. They were discovered to be Mossad agents who later admitted they were there to document the events. While in jail, they failed numerous lie detector tests. One agent was an alleged expert in explosives. They were part of Urban Movers, which was a large Israeli shell company used to get Mossad agents and spies in the U.S. Due to pressure from higher-ups, they were released and sent back to Israel. Crazy, huh?
I mean,
so there was a video of them dancing, or no?
Not the video of them dancing. There was a witness to them dancing.
Yeah, she called it in.
She was on video.
She said it was... No, she said that...
They have the bombings on video. I mean, the planes on video, but... Like, they were recording it, but they don't have anything else.
Anyway, that's...
But apparently they have a bunch of shit in the van that was very suspicious.
That's crazy.
And don't forget, Israel did attack the United States in 1968, 7? The USS Liberty.
USS Liberty. You know about that, right?
Vaguely.
Where basically it was a 6-day war, and they were doing war crimes in the Golan Heights. And there was a U.S. reconnaissance ship in the region that could pick up kind of like signals and whatever. They were in international waters. They weren't in Israeli waters, so they were in fully kind of like neutral territory. Israel tries to destroy that ship because they know that they're going to pick up on intelligence that they don't want them to pick up on. And then only when an SOS call, they're jamming their SOS, they're jamming all the communications, one manages to get out saying like, hey, we're being attacked by Israel, whatever. And then they stop the attack because they're like, oh shit, we got to stop now because they sent out an SOS. But like before the attack, there are like planes that circle the fucking ship. And so they don't think, like the USS Liberty crew, they don't think anything's strange at first. But then it starts bombing them. So they had full, like the fucking American flag is fully in display. Yep. And they're like circling the fucking ship. And then they say, oh, we thought it was an Egyptian ship. It's fucking bullshit.
And I was in a Facebook group with a lot of the members.
Well, you also know that before you start bombing, you send over communication. Like, hey, stop, identify yourselves.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, I was in a Facebook group about 10 years ago with a bunch of these guys who were on that ship.
Like the crew.
But they're old now, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're still around because it's been like 10 years. But they all said they would be in there like, this is such fucking bullshit. They fucking saw us. They saw our flags. We could see them.
There was a recent article on Haaretz that even said the IDF came out with a statement that said, like, yeah, the officer said, "Are you sure it's an American ship?" And then the officer, like this commanding officer, said, "I don't care, hit her," or something.
So even one of their own people told on them.
So it was in a Haaretz article that basically it was a fucking, it was Israel's fault that they killed Americans, literally, our greatest ally, killing us.
How many people died?
I think a couple hundred were injured, but dead were maybe
a couple dozen.
Couple dozen, yeah. Let me check again. USS Liberty incident. I think like 200 injured.
Not only that, they stole
171 wounded, 34 killed.
A lot of people don't know this, but in the 60s, when they were doing their secret nuclear weapons program that Ben-Gurion was pushing, they stole weapons-grade uranium from us in Pennsylvania.
Oh, like in Back to the Future.
Yeah. So Spielberg makes a movie about Libyans doing what the Israelis
did.
Yeah. I didn't even know what Munich was about until I read the thing. I thought it was about the Nazis or something. It's actually about an IDF team killing Palestinian people who bombed the Olympics or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I did not watch it.
I saw the movie.
What did you think? Apparently, Israel.
I remember they killed a spy woman, and then they left her uncovered. They're like, because she's a whore or whatever. They because one of them covered up. He's like, no, leave her uncovered. And then they're like, don't fuck with the Jews. Yeah,
that's what you remember.
That's what I remember from the movie. And Eric Bana was.
I remember Israel didn't like the movie. It's interesting, but
I mean that makes sense.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so our greatest ally. Anyway, I think that's about it for today. We covered Boba and Israel.
We went over more now than we did last episode.
Dang it. Oh, boy. All right, so, the issues that you care about, the election's coming up pretty soon.
I guess next time we'll do an election.
Personally, I say don't vote for Kamala or Biden or Libertarian. Or actually, you know what? Just don't vote for Kamala or Biden. Vote Libertarian if you want. I don't care, but just don't vote for those two. Anyone but those two. Even if you...
Well, you can't vote for Biden now. He's not...
Or, I mean, yeah. Harris.
Oh, you mean Trump. Trump and Kamala.
Oh, yeah. Trump and...
oh, okay.
Trump and Harris.
I'm only voting for Trump just because California's going to go Democratic anyway. I just want to protest against the Democrats.
Why don't you protest with the Greens?
Because they said we're fucking China's like anti-black or some fucking bullshit.
And then what does Donald Trump say about China?
He says like Xi Jinping is like a strong...
And then Kung Flu, China virus.
Remember that thing? Like
Chinese are raping us.
Remember she was like, Chinese people think we're stupid? It's true.
I don't know. You seem to be more lax with Trump than with leftists.
I said that before.
Oh, you did?
Well, he did visit the DPRK.
That's true.
He did do things a lot of leftists have never done.
Yeah, but what about Stein? Stein's better than Trump, right?
I mean, she also said like, oh, I don't agree with Hamas or some bullshit. Like, oh, like you shouldn't fight or something like that.
What do Trump and Vance call Hamas? I
don't know, terrorists.
Interesting.
Anyway, okay. Anyway, I voted for Stein. I mailed in my ballot. A few days later, I saw Butchware make some anti-Chinese comments, which annoyed me.
Okay, so then what about that?
But you know what? He got checked pretty damn hard, and hopefully he's in the process of learning now.
Do you know what's almost more important? Local elections.
Yeah.
Vote.
Don't forget to vote for Grace Yu, David Choi, Grace Yu, David Kim, John Yee.
None of them are Choi's, so that was weird.
Dave Min. Michelle Steele?
No, she sucks. Whoops.
Andy Kim.
I don't know, but whatever.
He was the one cleaning on January 6th.
Oh.
Anyway. All right, guys. Well, vote for whoever you think is going to, make your life better. But it's not going to happen. So have your fun. And,
that's what I treat the president. I just treat it as fun.
Like George Carlin, he said he's
Like,
just a
it makes
spectator.
no fucking
The
difference.
ones that matter are the local stuff, like
Yeah.
the props, those ordinances, all of those, the local assemblymen.
Definitely vote for Nathan Hochman. That's
Those
my recommendation.
matter
in
for
Los
sure.
Angeles.
Douglas says vote for Nathan Hochman for district attorney to get rid of George Gascon.
That's the only thing I actually care about in the election.
I think Gascon's out anyway, but whatever.
That's fine. I just want him to be destroyed.
Okay. All right. Well, that's it for us today.
Okay, bye.
Let us know what you think in the comments. Like this video, subscribe to this channel, and smash that notification bell. I'm Michael Kim, and today we had Edward Choi and Douglas Kim joining us. And we'll see you next time, guys. Peace.
Bow, 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 bow. That was the most lax air horn ever.
Why is he doing that?
You didn't say bye. Oh, whatever.